On today's show, we've got Wedding Fever, and we're crashing the biggest comic book event of the summer. So get ready for DC All Access. Happy 4th, everybody. I'm Whitney Moore, and it is time for another DC Nation, and we are catching up with Dan DiDio to find out what we need to add to our pull lists.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of
Thank you.
July, Dan.
July?
Dang it. I gotta go.
There you go.
Dan, great to see you again.
It's very nice to see you as well.
Happy 4th.
Thank you very much. It is a nice day. I can't believe we're working on the 4th of July. What's that all about?
I know. It's okay. We're talking about comics.
That's
not
the
work at
only
all.
reason why we're here.
Okay, tell me what we got. We got some really exciting stuff, right?
I mean, if you were up at midnight, I don't know if you were up at midnight.
Always.
But good. I'm glad to hear that because most of the stores were open at this midnight to have the big sale behind the Batman Catwoman money.
Yay!
You know what the best part is? That not only is it Batman 50 coming out where the wedding takes place, and it's a beautiful book, incredible art, incredible story by Tom King, but also we put out Catwoman #1 by Joelle Jones.
Yes.
Both coming out the same day. It's a culmination of so much work that Tom's done to date. You know, he has a vision for that series. And, you know, it's his goal. I don't know if he's ever verbalized this, so I'm going to say it for him. His goal, he wants to be on for 100 issues. He feels he has 100 issues of Batman inside him, and this is just his halfway mark. But they've done this beautiful job with this. They've took this wonderful spot, and I feel that it's the first step in the long road. I've been really happy. I've been very lucky in my job. Okay, I've been here for God help me, almost 2 decades, and I've had 3 primary Batman writers, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, I had Grant Morrison for 5 to 7 years, another 5 years of Scott Snyder with Greg Capullo, and now I have Tom in it. And it's interesting because Tom had a much more difficult job. He double ships Batman. Mm-hmm. So he's moving twice the space. You know, so he's there for 2 years, but he's done 4 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the weird part is that he might ultimately have more Batman product at the end of the day than the other guys.
It's crazy.
except in a less period of time.
Yeah.
So it's an intensive responsibility and something that he loves and enjoys.
Love it.
But there's a lot of great stuff happening here.
And you have another very exciting thing.
Yeah,
coming through.
I guess this is really an interesting thing because this just hit the stores.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this is interesting to us because it's a massive change of pace of what we do. But what we did is we created a series of 4 100-page giants that are going to be coming out on a monthly basis. These things are pretty much 80% reprint with one original story inside there, but it takes some of our best Batman stories inside this book. I have Batman Hush, I have Nightwing #1 from New 52, we're reprinting that, and also Harley Quinn series.
So if I have a friend that I'm trying to get into like the best DC comics, I can just hand them one of these.
Exactly, and
That's
the interesting,
awesome.
it's a real entry point, and what's different about it is that we are just providing this exclusively through Walmart. We set on a new deal with Walmart. These books are going to be offered in 3,000 stores across the country. And my hope is that through these books, through these series, if they're sitting on a shelf in Walmart, people find them, get excited about our characters, and then go find all the rest of our material in the direct market and other stores that's out there.
I love that.
It's a big risk for us. The Walmart people are excited. The 4 books we're doing are really exciting. And what we decided to do to make sure that we have people's interest in this is we put some great talent on these books. So our Teen Titans book, the original story in Teen Titans is Dan Jurgens, which I'm happy to see Dan back on Teen Titans again. And then on top of that, I'm going to have Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner and Chad Hardin, the ones who did such a great, strong run on Harley Quinn.
Right.
They're going to be doing an original Wonder Woman story in the Justice League book as an ongoing. And then on top of that, speaking of our boy Tom King will be working Andy Kubert on Superman, on the original Superman stories.
Oh my gosh!
and the last one, which is gonna be fun, Batman, starting with issue 3 of the Batman Giant, will be Brian Bendis and Nick Derrington doing the Batman story.
So are these going to be one-shots, or are they going to be?
No, these are ongoing series.
Wow.
So what? Yeah, it like I said, it harkens back. You know, I remember when I first started buying comics, and when other people did. I think back to those 80-page giants of those crazy collections of Superman and Batman. Those existed. And then DC did a lot of DC specials, also things that collected so many different characters in a single book. Then if you go back into the 70s, we did the dollar books, which had all original stories featuring so many different characters. And that was my way of getting into the DC universe. A single purchase where I learn about 5 to 6 different characters. So what we're doing here is pretty much the same thing. We're creating books around the most recognizable franchises: Superman, Batman, Justice League, Teen Titans. We're putting new stories in there to attract the current fan base, but we're also putting our best reprinted stories in there to hopefully bring in the more casual fan and get them hooked to what we're doing.
I love that, because anytime I recommend DC books to people, I'm like, okay, you gotta go over here and get this issue and this one, and it's so nice to just have them all in one place.
Oh yeah, well that's what we said.
Here, read them.
That's why when we do a book with Batman, I mean, I go straight to one of my favorite stories since I've been at DC, which is Batman Hush.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you know, Jim's art explodes off the page, and if you weren't exposed to it and you're a brand new fan, you're seeing that for the first time, I can guarantee you become more of a comic fan, or want to become a comic fan when you see things this exciting and beautiful. But we're also reprinting things like Jeff Johns' Green Lantern series when he first took over the book, and their New 52 series, Jeff and Jim together on New 52. Things that people recognize, remember, strong entry points, easy to read, great spots that you don't have to know that much about comics, you just have to know the characters, and you're off to the races.
Perfect. Well, I cannot wait to see the feedback from this. I'm so excited to get some new DC fans talking about these books. I mean, Hush made me a lifelong DC fan. That was the one that I read that I was like, yep, this is it.
Exactly, and that's exactly it. And it's fine. What we did is we found those touch points that brought in new fans, and we're trying to repackage them away to hopefully bring in a next generation of fans.
I love it. Dan, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Those are some of this week's essential reads, and here is a full rundown of DC's new releases out today. It is hard to keep up with what's going down in every corner of the DCU, so here's a roundup of what you need to know. We are just a few short weeks away from the release of Teen Titans Go to the Movies, and our friends at DC Kids snagged exclusive interviews with the Teen Titans themselves.
Hey guys, I'm Jet. And I'm Monterey, and we are so excited because we're about to have a special interview with the Teen Titans. You sent us your questions, and we're about to get them answered. Oh, here they come! Oh, so many of the flashing lights!
You can catch the full video this Friday on the DC Kids YouTube channel. DC Universe is shaping up to be a game-changing digital experience for comic book fans. On top of the original live-action and animated series that have already been announced, members can rewatch classic DC TV shows and movies and connect to an always-updating digital library of many of DC's most popular comic books. Plus, keep up with breaking news, snag exclusive merchandise, and access special contests. To register for more info and get a chance to join DCU's beta later this summer, hit up DCUniverse.com right now. And finally, 2016's Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a runaway hit. And now the entire miniseries is available in a new hardcover deluxe edition. You can read the team-up adventure in a half-shell starting today. That's the news for now, but don't close this window. We will be back with more right after the panel of the week. Green Arrow is battling a serious parasite problem, and Batgirl is getting a whole new look. We've got writer Mairghread Scott here to fill us in on her plans for the two vigilante heroes.
In issue 41 of Green Arrow, Ollie found out that he was going to have to do this really boring babysitter type gig where he was going to have to escort the parasite to his court date. Unfortunately, it turned out to be significantly less boring because the parasite escaped, and now all of Stryker's Island is essentially running loose with only Ollie to stop them. So we have the wonderful combination of Ollie both being super confident that he can do this and also knowing that he's totally screwed. The interesting thing about writing Green Arrow was DC knew it was going to need a couple issues, sort of inventory stories of Green Arrow, and going through that and getting the chance to learn how to pitch here and work with the editors, and you know, curveballs get thrown your way and you have to like react. It's a good way of getting your feet wet with sort of the pace of things here, and that was definitely a credit and a help to getting the Batgirl run. I really wanted Batgirl to stay pretty much the same, but I wanted to make it hard for her to stay the same. So I always like to say I wanted to take Babs Starr's Batgirl and put her in Gail Simone's Gotham, and I really want this younger, fresher Batgirl to sort of have to grow up into sort of the darker world of Gotham and like have to fight to hold on to that, because I think she's got this really wonderful levity, but I think that kind of hope untested is not nearly as valuable as hope that's sort of been through the fire. So I really wanted to explore that and sort of put Babs through the fire and see what came out the other side. So Batgirl's gonna be chasing this guy named Grotesque, and he's, we've really amped up the villain if people know him already. He's gone from being just sort of a adrenaline junkie kind of art thief to now a bona fide serial killer. And so we really want to explore some of the grittier, darker angles of that and really kind of take Burnside Batgirl and make her have to live in a sort of grittier, darker world while still kind of trying to hold on to that great light that she's gained. I was really excited for Sean Murphy's redesign of the Batgirl costume. You know, it was really exciting not to just get him on covers, but also get him to sort of reimagine her look. And we really wanted to connect in with the story. So you actually won't see it the first issue, you'll see it the second issue. And it's actually going to be a costume that Babs was working on when she was still living with her dad, which is why it bears such a resemblance to Batgirl Year One. So we wanted to really take that idea and kind of modernize it, and that ties in with a whole bunch of spoilery themes in the story. But we really hope that the audience likes it.
That's the news for now, but remember to subscribe to DC All Access on YouTube to stay up to date on everything going down in the DCU. See you next time.